are now listening to the Life of Produk podcast.
What up, man? It's the boy Produk. You're now locked into the Life of Produk podcast. This is episode 91, man. Yo, I came in here in very, very high spirits today. I just want to tell y'all I am thankful. I am very thankful. I told y'all I took a minute. I took a break. I took a hot minute to come back. I came back with 2 fire episodes. And the last episode, as of this morning, it's right at 1,000 views, or a little over 1,000 views. That's big for me. That's very big for me. I checked the analytics last night. I got to chill with checking the analytics. I be checking them religiously like every day, right? I checked the analytics last night. I think right now, right as of last night, 18.1% of my viewership on the YouTube side of the show is from Dominican Republic. 18.1% is from DR. That's big for me. Not only is 18.1% from DR, 7% is from Nigeria. So that means people all the way from here to DR to across the world in Africa are watching the show. This is my way of showing appreciation. I want some of y'all artists to hit me up, from whether you're making reggaeton, whether you in Nigeria making Afro beats, if you're a producer, if you're a mogul, if you are an app developer, it doesn't matter. Hit me up. Let's get you on the show. Let's get you on the show. Let's get your career popping. That is my way of saying thank you to y'all, because I appreciate it. Because without y'all, the show wouldn't be nowhere. Be sure to like and subscribe. Go to youtube.com/LifeOfProduk podcast. It's also on Spotify. Shouts out to Spotify for podcasters, which was formerly Anchor FM. Shouts out to all of them. Shouts out to iHeartRadio. Shouts out to TuneIn. Shouts out to Apple Podcasts, Apple Music. Holla at the kid. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Let's work something out, man. Yo, it's a beautiful Tuesday, man. It's a beautiful Tuesday. I woke up in high spirits today. I am happy to be here. I am very happy to be here. I was on the highway blasting R&B. If I'm blasting R&B, I'm in a good mood, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't be nothing but straight drug dealer music in my whip, for real. Even though I ain't about that life, that's what we do. But if I'm blasting R&B and I'm not with a shorty and I'm by myself, I am in a very good mood. So it's gonna be an R&B type of day. You know what I'm saying? I was a little upset the other day watching the Knicks play, man. I was so mad. I took it to social media, man. You know why I was upset? We lost game 1, right? Shouts out to the Heat. Oh, man, Jimmy Butler got hurt, man. I feel bad for that, bro, but that might work out for him. I think he got hurt. Like his ankle, so I don't know what it is, man. One of the muscles down there I can't pronounce. I think he tore it. But, yeah, like, they were going shot for shot, three-pointer for three-pointer. And it was when you have a playoff and the teams are going three-pointer for three-pointer, it's basically about who can run out of mojo first, who could gas out first. And that's kind of what happened with the Knicks. They kind of gassed out. Watching the Knicks lose the other night gave me mid-90s anxiety, dog. I'm in here with my Nets hat today. I ain't even wear the Knicks hat because I'm just nervous for game 2. I think they play tonight. I had mid-90s anxiety. The way Spike Lee looked when he was on the sidelines, on court side, that's how I felt on the outside. You know, Spike get mad, he be like this. Yo, that's how I felt. I felt like Spike, you know what I'm saying? Watching the Knicks lose gave me mid-90s anxiety. I felt like I was watching the Knicks lose to the Pacers. I felt like I was watching the Knicks lose to the Bulls. I felt like I was watching the Knicks lose to the Rockets, man. That's what it felt like the other night. So yeah, man. I'm gonna say a prayer for these brothers because the city need it. Shouts out to the Nets. The Nets, I think they got swept. Lost first round, but at least we made it to the first round. What your city do? You know what I'm saying? Don't talk about the Nets. Don't even talk about the Knicks, brother. Can't do that around me. You cannot do that around me. We are way, way, way better on the Knicks side of things than we were years ago. Like, so let's give them credit. Even if we lose, I'm still riding for the team. I'm still riding for the city. We had both of our teams is in the playoffs. Not too many cities to say that. Before I get into episode 91, I got to tell y'all some wild stuff, man. I got to tell you, don't look at me different after I tell you guys this. Please don't. So a lot of my loyal listeners, y'all remember when I told y'all about I had a bad melanin trip a while back. I didn't even need to take melatonin last night. I just took it anyway. I was like, yeah, I'm about to get that good sleep, yo. I sound like a drug addict, right? Scratch the neck. You know what I mean? Yo, I had a wild melatonin trip last night, fam. So the last melatonin trip I had, I dreamt I was fighting Dracula. I dreamt that I drove from where I live at now in North Carolina all the way up I-95. This was the longest dream I've had in my life. I told you, I drove up 95 in a dream, and I trooped all the way up. I stopped in Jersey. I stopped in EO in East Orange, stopped by a bodega, got a map of Dragon's Lair, which was all the way in Long Island. We went through the toe, bong. Last night, I dreamt I lived back in Brooklyn. I was actually on the block I grew up in the building I grew up in. I grew up on Crown Street. It was like House of Dragon meets Brooklyn. I can't make this up. It was like the sky was all dark and orangey, like it had a filter on it. It had like one of the medieval Lord of the Ring movie filters on it. And there's a dragon flying around in the sky. And it was huge. It was as big as an Airbus 320, which is an airplane for y'all that don't know, which take Greyhound everywhere. No offense to Greyhound. Shouts out to Greyhound, man. But the dragon was flapping, and me and the dragon had beef in the dream. I can't. Thank God this was a dream because it felt real. It felt like a very real 2-hour movie, and I would sleep longer than 2 hours, sleep all night, but it felt like a long 2-hour movie. And the dragon is flapping his wings. And I'm like, yo, son, you want beef? Mind you, so I used to live on the second floor. My building was huge, six-story building. I lived on the second floor on the left side. The dragon is basically circling the block, like he's pulling up on the kid. And my crazy Gemini side came out in a dream. I wasn't scared, but I was like, yo, what's going down? So my godmother, who I haven't seen in years, and I feel very bad about that, lived right down the hall from my second apartment. Yo, my godmother lived down the hall from me. I go knock on the door, but my godmother's not there. My brother's there. Now, my brother has an AR in real life. It's legal. Before y'all jump the gun, oh, he's snitching. No, it's legal. He has an AR, it's registered. Like, we live in states where guns is legal. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually buying one for myself for my birthday. That's gonna be my birthday gift to myself. This shit, bang bang. So the same AR he has in real life, I went to go get it. I'm banging on the door, and he comes to the door like, yo, what's wrong with you? I'm like, yo, son, I got beef. So he's like, where they at? I said, nah, it's one dude. He's like, where he at? I said, he's in the sky. He's looking at me like. He's like, what? Yo, he's in the sky. I'm like, yo, son, I got beef with a dragon. And this is melatonin. I don't know what type of reactions y'all have to melatonin, but this is why I slow down off of it because, yo, I don't know what it is, man. It'd be like out-of-body experience. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So I had a wild melatonin trip. I'm like, yo, he in the sky. I got beef with a dragon. I'm smacking him. I'm like, I got beef with a dragon. Let me hold the AR. I got to handle this. And he, just like my brother would in real life, I bet I got you. I'll go walk into the crib. He opens some weird-looking closet. We pull an AR out. Can't make this up. So I go outside. The dragon is in front of the building. Like, you ever watch those movies when the dragons like flap they like wings in front of you, and that's how he is. I pull it out. What? And the dragon looked scared. I was about to pop. The dragon lands on the ground. I can't make this there's dust or whatever everywhere. You know what I'm saying? My shirt is like kind of ripped now from the dust. Dragon lands on the ground, and he turns human. And I'm like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. That kind of escalated. And he was like, no, bro, stop, bro, stop. And he was a white dude with blonde. Yo. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, yo, I thought you wanted a problem. He's like, nah, bro, let's be cool. He said, yo, this is how I know I need to stop taking melatonin. So the dragon in the dream goes, he gives me 2 boxing gloves, like a pair, but mind you, I got MMA gloves. So he gives me my exact same red and black MMA gloves that I have in real life, and he pulls out boxing gloves. He was like, yo, let's go fight it out, and no matter who won, let's be friends after that. And I'm in the dream like, all right, okay, so we go scrap it out. Then we was cool after that. Like, my brother comes out, he was like, yo, what a dragon? You killed him? I'm like, this is the dragon. He's like, no, he's a human. I said, yeah, he's really human, but he's cool now. He's like, yo, you sure? I was like, yeah. Then we like walk up the block to the bodega. We went to where Punch, I don't know if Punch stores there, but shouts out to Punch, rest in peace to Punch. Shouts out to his family. Peace and blessings, man. He's like the uncle I never had. We walk up the block, bust a left on Utica Avenue, and we go up Utica Avenue to Utica and Carroll to where Punch store was at, Punch Bodega, and we just like buying chips and stuff. And it was weird. But then I Googled it, and I started doing some Googling on it, and actually a dragon can symbolize a good omen or whatever. It can symbolize, I forgot exactly what it was, but like fresh start, some stuff like that. It can actually symbolize protection in your life, new chapters and things like that. So a lot of these dreams, a lot of them are not just dreams and not just subconscious. I feel like a lot of these things are like kind of spiritual and stuff like that. It's like when people give stories and reports of taking shrooms and they have out-of-body experiences. Well, yo, look, shroom life is not for me, brother. It's not. If I'm having wild melatonin dreams, I don't wanna, nah, man. I might see some stuff, yo. I was there if I take a shroom, so I ain't doing that. I don't even like mushrooms on my burgers, fam, because I'm just nervous, Nah, but it was crazy. And after Googling it, I actually felt pretty good about it. It's the Boy Product, Life of Product podcast. We will be right back with the second part of the show. Shouts out to YouTube. Shouts out to the YouTube subscribers. Shouts out to Spotify for podcasters. Stay tuned. What up, man? It's the Boy Product. We're now back with the Life of Product podcast. This is episode 91, man. Shouts out to everybody, to the listeners, to the subscribers, to the viewers. Big things going over here with the show, man. Shouts out to the supporters. Shouts out to Spotify for podcasters and all the streaming platforms. I had to tell you about my crazy melatonin dream on the first part of the show, but let me get a little serious, man. I think today's episode is gonna spark some things in a few people. And this is something. This was heavy on my heart the last 24 hours. Actually, I was not even gonna do this subject. The subject I was gonna touch on today was totally different. But I saw something online yesterday, and it sparked something in me. And it didn't spark something on me to where it bothered me. It sparked something in me to where I felt bad for other people, and I felt like other people, they kind of needed to hear this message. It was something that needed to be delivered to them. I saw about 3-4 people share this yesterday. And it really had me like, wow, like these are conversations that a lot of people don't want to have, or they're scared to have, or people might have this heavy in their heart, heavy in their spirit, and carry it into adulthood, and they don't even know. It was I saw something and it said, forgive your parents, they were learning to. Forgive your parents, they were learning to. And I was like, wow. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was like, yo, this is wild. Like old memories from my childhood started coming out. Not anger, but like, yo, stuff that I forgot about, man. And you gotta understand something, right? So I told y'all a while back, my brother, my siblings are between 8 and 11 years older than me. That's a huge gap. My parents, they had fun one night. I came out of nowhere. I was ready to rock, baby. Bang, bang. I came out the room, my Gemini way. What up? You know what I'm saying? Came out of nowhere, unexpected. But I was born in the 80s and my siblings were all born in the 70s. That's a huge gap. That is a huge gap. So the parents they met when they were younger were totally different from the parents I met when I was younger. And we've actually had these conversations. The parents my siblings met were different from the ones that I met when I was younger. So that gap is there. And you got to understand something, man. Like my parents, along with a lot of other parents that are in the same age range as me, our parents come from that baby boomer era. It was a lit era. Y'all be thinking that life is lit right now. Yeah, it can be, but it was different back then. See, back then there was no social media. You had to live in the moment. They had camcorders. Now they had like little camcorders. They had disposable cameras. They had Polaroids, but it's not the same. You had to buy film. You had to spend like $10 for a Polaroid. Polaroids were basically $1 a shot. You get like 10 shots in it. Or you had to buy a roll of film for $3.99, $4.99, and you had to buy batteries for it. And you couldn't check to see how the picture came out. You had to get it developed. They lived in the moment. Life was a lot more lit for them. They had Studio 54. They had life was cheaper back then. You understand what I'm saying? There were less security cameras in the streets. So they got to get away with a lot more stuff. There was none of that. The stuff that we deal with today that we think a luxury would not be luxury to them. That actually would have been tampering with life for them. So these things that they went through, their objectives in life were a lot different. A lot of our black parents didn't have the knowledge that we have nowadays. So you know, we're coming from the era where there were baby boomers. The crack epidemic was there. You know what I mean? I've shared this before with y'all before on the show, and this is not something I talk about with a lot of people, but I like to be open on the show. My mother was an alcoholic growing up. I thank God to this day my mother was an alcoholic, and that was the only vice that she had. I thank God that. And you know why I thank God that was the only vice that she had? Because one, she beat it on her own. She didn't have to go to no AA meetings. She didn't have to go to therapy and none of that. She didn't have to go to rehab for that. She beat it on her own. I seen people who parents were alcoholics and more. I seen, you know, if it hurts looking from the outside, say your mom was on crack back in the 90s, right? I feel for a lot of y'all. I know a lot of y'all. I feel for y'all pain. I've seen it. If your mom's is on crack back in the 90s, right? Or if you knew somebody who parents was on crack, mother or father, because a lot of fathers was on it too. But for some reason, I saw more women on it. If a person parents was on crack back in the 90s and it hurt to look at them from the outside, imagine how much it hurt looking at it from the inside. Imagine that you were that child. Imagine you were their child and you watching your parents come in the house strung out on crack every day. Crack was literally a 5-minute high. So your parents would have been in and out the door like this all day. I've seen it. One of my mother's best friends that she knew for years that lived in our building, her and her sister was on crack. And the family actually moved. I think they moved to South Carolina. They were beautiful women, man. Really, really, really beautiful hair, beautiful skin, long hair, slim, no body weight. And they were on crack. And it was I don't know where the father was at, but it was a mother and the two daughters. They were like a little younger than my parents. The mother and the two daughters. And the youngest daughter did not want to get off drugs. And the mother and the sister got clean. They moved, and I literally never seen them again. They moved somewhere. I think it's like South Carolina somewhere. And I never saw them come back to Brooklyn. And as I got older, the younger sister got worse. She got worse. When I moved back to Brooklyn, I would go to my mother's crib. I would visit, and I would see her. She would be knocking on the door. My mother would be like giving her food and stuff like that. And when that woman died, my mother cried. She cried. She cried because she knew her for so many years. Both my parents knew her for so many years. It's like you could watch her deteriorate over the years. Like that crack killed her, ate her insides out, man. I watched this woman from being out on the block, men trying to holler at her all the time, to her just looking bad, teeth bad and everything like that. Imagine if that was your parent. Imagine if that was your parent. To the parents out here that were on drugs, it don't matter if it was coke, heroin, pills, anything. To the parents out here that have been on drugs and kicked it, I love y'all. Because you guys just did something that's hard. You just did one of the most hardest things to think about. Look, man, we all got a vice. We all got a vice. I'll drink once in a while. I don't drink that much, but I'll drink and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? We all got a vice. Your vice might not even be drugs. Your vice might be lying. You might be a pathological liar. I know pathological liars. It is an addiction. Addictions come in different forms. Addictions ain't just something you smoke. It ain't just something you drink. It's not something that you just inject in your body. It could be your habits, your personal habits. I know there's people with porn addictions, really bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, like, come on, man, it's 2023, man. Come on, what are you doing? I know people that got prostitute addictions. I know dudes that was running a Colombia. They was running a DR. They was going all over different places, and they was busting down their whole check on prostitutes. So these people have addictions. Unpopular thing that y'all don't know about. I know women that went out there for prostitution as well, to pick up prostitutes. Yo, I don't know. You ain't hear that from Produk yet. You did, but we gonna leave it alone. But like I said, everyone has their own addiction. Your addiction might be small. It might be this big. Your addiction might be this big, but you got an addiction. You might be addicted to video games. You might be a grown man that just sit and play NBA 2K all day. You sit and you don't work out. You're not eating right. You have no social skills. You might be one of them dudes that sit on a computer all day arguing, or on a video game all day arguing with 10-year-olds, and you're from Oklahoma, and you sit in your parents' basement. You have not moved out yet. You might be 45 years old doing that. You might not have showered in a week because you're so glued to that video game. That is an addiction, and you need to get help for it. I think video games can be great for mental health for a lot of young adults, even some adults, actually. It can be great for mental health, but everything should be taken in moderation. If you have mental health issues, and you take whatever medication that you take for it, they're only going to give you so much milligrams. You can only take so much a day. Everything needs to be taken in moderation. So when you're overindulging in this, it becomes an addiction. And addictions become diseases. They do. A lot of drug addicts have triggers. I didn't know this for years. I used to work with a dude. And if you saw this dude, you would have never thought he was a drug addict. He looked clean. Nice clothes. He didn't have the crackhead look. And the dude was actually about 4 or 5 years older than me. And I was in my early 20s. 4 or 5 years might not sound like a lot, but it kind of is, because he was about, say, 4 years older than me. I hate telling y'all my age. I was born in 83, meaning he was born in 79. This huge age gap. That 4 years is a huge age gap. I didn't know he was an ex-crackhead. And he started smoking crack like right around time he turned 18. I turned 14 in 1997. So in 97, he was an 18-year-old crackhead. Crack was kind of still a thing in 97. Fam. Imagine being an 18-year-old crackhead. You know what I'm saying? And that's around the time when ecstasy was a thing. Like, he could have chose a better drug. My bad. I got a bad sense of humor. But he chose to smoke crack. And I'm willing to bet money He didn't just wake up one day saying, man, I'm going to smoke crack. He had to see it in his household, or he had to have people around him that were doing it. There had to be older people. He might have had uncles or cousins that were doing it, because outside influence is a thing. I've never met not one person that just woke up and said, I'm going to do drugs tomorrow. I ain't never met one person that did that. It was their surroundings. You feel what I'm saying? Especially when you grew up in the same hood that we did. G is the boy, Product, Life of Product podcast. This is episode 91. I will be right back with the third part of the show. G, what up, man? It's the boy, Product. We're now back with the Life of Product podcast. This is episode 91. Episode 91 is titled Forgive Your Parents. They Were Young Too. Like I told y'all on the second part of the show, I saw a couple people repost this yesterday, and it was really heavy in my heart to deliver this message to y'all. It's like God in the universe spoke to me, because a lot of y'all need to hear this. Let me tell you something. Two sets of people I will not dedicate the show to. I will not. And that's to the fathers who just left their kids and didn't turn back and made no effort, and to the mothers who kept the kids out the father's life. Nah. Y'all are trash. Trash. To the fathers who deserted their kids, just left, made no effort, you deserve to be on child support. To the mothers who deliberately kept the fathers and blocked the fathers out their lives, you deserve to get not one penny, and you deserve to be put in jail, just like the fathers who are on back child support. You should be put in jail. You should, because a lot of y'all do that and then go live your best lives and lie to the kid, and the kid grows up with identity issues, or grow up with his stepfather and find out that his real pops was a dope dude, and you lied to him. Yeah, we ain't gonna touch on that. Yo, episode 91, forgive your parents, they were young too. As parents, we need to learn when to apologize to our children. We do. We need to learn to apologize to our children. You know why we need to apologize to our children, because our children, every day on this earth, it's new for our kid. Today's Tuesday, right? This is the first May 2nd, 2023 that they ever lived. It is. Tomorrow's the 3rd. Tomorrow is the first May 3rd, 2023 that they lived. Every day these kids are growing mentally and emotionally and spiritually. So a lot of this stuff is new to them. So, and I've been guilty of it. There's times I've went off on my kids, right? And it's like, yo, why don't you understand that? And it's like, wait a minute, because that's a child right there. It's not their job to always understand everything. It's my job 24 hours a day to teach them everything. It is. And it don't stop when they turn 18. It doesn't. You got to keep on going. Yo, I know a lot of parents, they be like, oh, when you turn 18, man, you on your own. Nah, no, they're not on their own. You're gonna have to be right there to guide them, to make sure they don't do stupid stuff as they're growing up, stupid stuff as they go to college, stupid stuff when they start making money. Because they would do stupid stuff. I've done stupid stuff. I have fun doing stupid stuff. I had too much fun doing stupid stuff. But the thing is, right, a lot of adults are guilty of this. A lot of adults, they're always so quick to demand respect from a kid. They want apologies. They want 100%. They want perfection. But they're not giving that. Why are you not giving that to these kids? Why? Why are you not giving that to them? You don't think they deserve that? They deserve it more than you deserve it. They did not ask to be here. They ain't asked to be here. They deserve it. But a lot of parents walk around with this chip on their shoulder, and they don't know how to deliver. They don't know how to deliver a message. They don't know how to deliver respect. They don't know how to deliver love. And but the thing is, a lot of these parents, they weren't raised with love. And I told you, I was raised in a household where my parents loved me, but I didn't really see them love each other. You could tell that they loved each other for years, but the love between them wasn't fully there anymore. I kind of missed that. Not miss it, but I missed it. I missed that era. I would not, my brother and my sister got to see that. I ain't really get to see that. You know what I'm saying? So, then some of us as parents now, we've messed up where, we're not with the other parent anymore. And that happens. And you know what? When that happens, you have to put your best foot forward for your kids, to always let them know I'm there for you, whether they live with you or they don't with you. But they might live with you. My sons live with me. But at the end of the day, you still have to put your best foot forward to let them know I'm here for you. I'm going to fill that void. You have to fill that void, because there's a void there. A lot of kids don't open up, because like I said, every day is a new day. They don't know how to open up. How do you get them to open up? Life hack for you parents out there, life hack for you soon-to-be parents out there, first-time parents. Easiest way to get your kids to open up is to show them love off the rip, to openly show them love. Openly show them love and respect. That way they can feel comfortable about you, because you don't want your kids going through certain issues and feeling certain emotions and they're going to other people about it. These other people might not be genuine. these other people might not have kids. They might, or you don't want them going to their peers. That's even worse. Because if they go to their peers, a lot of kids, man, like I said, they don't got the answers. They don't got the answers, Sway. So they're gonna go to their friends, and their friends are gonna tell them the most ignorant, most biased piece of advice they could think of. And your kid is gonna, oh, that facts, for real facts. I'm gonna do that. I got you, bro. No, that is stupid. Don't do it. But not all parents got the answers too. You got parents that are adults, but they're not adultive. They're grown, but they ain't grown. They're grown, but they ain't grown. And a lot of these parents, they think that their world is gold. No, it's gold plated. It ain't gold. You leaving green rings around necks when you speak, my guy. No. So a lot of these parents, a lot of y'all need to take a step back, and y'all really need to analyze these situations. You need to be very self-analytical. Every day as a parent, you need to be self-analytical. Why? Because you need to understand that the things you say to your kid have to come from a deep place. If it's fabricated or false, they're either going to not believe you and respect you, or they're going to take it and run with it. And them taking and running with it is going to be worse than them not respecting you. Because now they just ran 10 blocks with some false information. And they think just because you said that, it's going to hold up in society. And society is going to teach them a very hard lesson. Very hard lesson. Do you want to be that parent? I don't want to be that parent, and I never will be that parent. So the parent that I've grown to be, I've learned to accept when I am wrong, and I've learned to apologize when I'm wrong. Now, has it hurt to apologize? Sometimes it has. I'm not going to lie to you. Yo, there's been times I had to apologize, and I ain't want to. I ain't want to. But I don't walk around with a chip on my shoulder. I'm a grown man, and I have learned to admit that I'm wrong. You know what? And like I said, today's episode is titled Forgive Your Parents. They were learning too. We grew up very poor in my family. My pops was the only one working. My mother chose to stay home because we lived in a bad neighborhood. We lived on Crown and Schenectady. It's not the safest, excuse me, not the safest neighborhood. My brother beat half the block up. You know what I'm saying? My sister beat mad chicks up. I had to duff a few dudes out growing up. So at a certain point, my mother didn't go back to work until my brother and my sister were grown, and I became a teenager or whatnot, which I respect that very much. That was a sacrifice that they made that I will forever be grateful of. But we, and I told y'all before, I don't like revealing this, but it was 5 of us in a 1-bedroom apartment. It wasn't the nice apartment. Paint was chipping off the walls, all kind of stuff. I had an inner anger about that for years that I didn't know I had. I don't hold no grudge, rest in peace to my mother, my pop's still alive, thank God. I don't hold no grudge over that. But I had an inner anger that I did not know I had for years. Didn't know I had it. And I didn't understand it until I grew up. I remember growing up, and I was looking through a photo album. And I can't remember if my mother or my father showed me. And I'm one of them days yo, look at these. I found these pictures from back in the day. Look, this is when y'all was little. Fam, it was like high levels of trauma just got weighed on me. Say it. You ever seen something or heard something, anything, looked at a picture, and you just felt a certain type of way? You just felt weight hit you. You felt like life just smacked you. That's what I felt. I felt high levels of trauma. It was like anxiety, and I don't even get anxiety, but it was like high levels of trauma and anxiety hitting me all at once. All these crazy memories started coming back, and I was like, I didn't want to look at it. I had to sit there because I didn't want to be rude. It took everything in me to sit there and go through that photo album, and every single picture I looked at brought back memories from me growing up on Crown Street. I'm proud of where I come from. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying I'm not proud of where I come from, because where I come from, it made me. I'm proud to be from Brooklyn. I'm proud to be from Crown Heights. If I had to do it all over again, I would. I would not choose to be from nowhere else. I wouldn't even choose to be born in a rich family in Hollywood. I wouldn't. I would choose to be right there in Brooklyn. But fam, yo, I was like, no mas. I didn't want to look at it no more. I did not want to look at it more, and I was forced to it. And that's when I realized I had an inner anger that was somewhat still there. It was still there. Like, I would go out to a family crib, go out of town or whatever. Sometimes we would come down south and visit, and get back on Crown Street, and it was like, oh man, this is where we live at. You know what I'm saying? So I always told myself I will work no matter what position in life, no matter however life knocked me down. I will continue to work hard, because I will provide for me and mine to make sure we never have to live in those conditions. I always told myself I will be strong enough spiritually and mentally to not succumb to being strung out on drugs. And I don't like to use the word never, but I will never go down that route because I've seen it. Thank God I've seen it. Thank God a lot of the people that I've seen go through it have beat it. I love y'all. You guys have a strength that you don't even know you possess. And a lot of y'all, not a lot of y'all, all of y'all that have beat y'all addictions, y'all need to pat yourselves on the back. If nobody else is giving you flowers, Produk is giving you your flowers. Congratulations. G is the boy Produk. Episode 91 of the Life of Produk podcast. I'm out, baby. G.
You are now listening to the Life of Produk podcast.